Addressing the problems in Springfield. Let's get to it. Okay, hello everybody. My name is Nate Patterson and welcome to another episode of Voice. We haven't done an episode of Voice in a long time, and I know that on Voice you're used to seeing me by myself, but today I have a friend. I have an old-time friend that decided to stop by and talk about some real issues, and so let's get to it. How you doing, sir?
All right.
I'd like to introduce Mr. Kevin McDonald. And Mr. McDonald has dropped by to talk about a few issues in Springfield, a few issues concerning
School.
Okay.
My son's schooling. I'm concerned about the things that are taking place in the city of Springfield, particularly in what we consider our neighborhood.
Right. So with that said, okay, before we get there, before we get there, let's let our audience know who you are. Right, get a little background about you, so they don't think me, who this dude is coming here talking mess about Springfield and all that. All right, so let's school them and let them know who you are, and then we're going to get deep in these in these issues. All right.
Okay. Who I am is a citizen of Springfield. That's who I am. My family comes from Springfield. My family name is Hurst.
Hurst.
My name is Kevin McDonald, but my mother is a Hurst.
A Hurst?
Yes, yes. Frederick Hurst, Justin Hurst, Marjorie Hurst. That is my family. I grew up in California. As you know, we used to run together in Reed Village.
The village.
The village. But I've done a number of things. I have gone through and come through drug addiction.
Okay.
I've been married a few times. I have 3 wonderful children, one of which is here in Springfield.
We share a lot. We share some common things. I myself had the same issue.
Okay.
Yeah. Not ashamed of. Look, you know what? Here's the thing, right?
Not ashamed at all.
If you're ashamed of what you did in the past, then you're no good for whatever present you have or future you're about to have. You got to deal and come to terms with what you did because it makes you the person who you are today. Right, so I mean.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I don't want to stay on that subject too long.
Right.
Because it's really it's not really a part of who I am today. But
exactly.
To a certain extent, it is. Yeah. Because those experiences molded me. Those experiences have allowed me to see things from a different perspective.
Right.
Than those who have never gone through that pain, the agony of making poor decisions. Okay. It's also made me a better father.
And if you don't make poor decisions, you can't learn.
Absolutely.
You can't increase in wisdom, and you know what I'm saying? You become seasoned,
exactly.
Right? I mean, every time if you go through life sheltered, catered to, everything given to you, you're not prepared for your adult life.
No, absolutely.
Not at all. You out there unarmed. You know what I mean?
True.
But when you go through some things, through some things, you get that wisdom. You get the understanding of life, and you're better able to pass it on. I'd rather learn from somebody like me and you,
right,
than somebody like who. I don't know who's successful. Ain't with
you could put out a number of names. Life exists outside of books. It exists outside of a paper of approval, and I'm talking about degrees. Yes, I have been to college. I'm a college-educated man.
Brother, I read some of your posts on Facebook, and that's evident.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But what has made me who I am are the negative experiences that I've gone through.
Right.
And it makes me a person that can voice the negativity that I've gone through in order to help other people push through some of these issues.
Okay, you opened that door, so let's walk through it. Okay, let's walk through it. You came here, you wanted to speak on some issues, right? That we have in Springfield. I did a show.
Right.
I did a show a while back called Growing Up in Springfield.
Yeah,
okay.
I remember that.
And the turnout wasn't that great. Okay, but we still did the show anyway, and a lot of information passed on that show.
Right.
All right. I plan to do a follow-up, but you know, you weren't a part of that show, so be a part of it now, brother. Let's talk about that.
Be a part of it now. I can be a part of it now. I remember the Village. I remember Pete's store on Bird Street.
Right.
I remember being able to go anywhere I wanted within the confinements of my grandmother's rules.
Yeah, right.
I remember.
Wait. Say that again. Say that last part again.
Within the confinement of my grandmother's rules.
There it is.
There were rules that had to be followed.
The street lights came on, brother.
That's exactly the same story, but there were also consequences that she was able to dole out, and she had no fear or concern of any government agency interfering with her ability to be a parent. So in those days, we had the Village. How appropriate. Right. I remember a story that I have to tell that will illustrate this point more than anything else.
All right.
In the 4th grade, it was probably the 3rd grade when we were busing. We used to bus out to Memorial.
Right.
I wasn't pleased with my report card. I took my report card and I thought I disposed of it. I threw it out the window and went in the water shops pond, right? No. I can't tell you exactly how long it took for that report card to get from the banks of water shops to my grandmother's door.
Are you
but
serious?
It got there. I'm serious, Nate. Somebody knocked on the door with my report card and handed it to my grandma.
Oh my God!
That's the Springfield I remember. I remember the family center and all the many people who spent their time with me.
Remember when it was cool? It was just like cool to get good grades.
Yeah, I remember it was not only cool to get good grades, but it was almost expected to get good grades.
Yeah.
Again, consequences of your actions. Now, like you said, it's become a problem for people to go out and do what they should do inside of the school building. So that's a whole other separate issue. We're talking about Springfield.
It is, but I brought that up for this reason, right? I mean, the way we came up is so different than today. Now, you almost touched on something. I thought you were going to go there, but I'm going to go there, right?
Okay.
You know, well, you did go there, right? When I was a kid, when we were coming up, man, I could walk anywhere in Springfield and not be concerned.
Absolutely.
Okay, and because you knew who was doing what in what areas, this, that, and the other, but nobody was getting shot. You know, the most I could expect is to get cut. You know what I mean? Not stabbed. I said cut. Cut.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then you go to school, right?
Okay.
But you know, today, man, we just had what, 2 or 3 stabbings?
Yeah.
2 people died, or 1 person died, man.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then we had 2 people got shot just yesterday.
Yes. It's a mess. You know, if I considered myself a conspiracy theorist, I would believe that there has been some sort of directive, because these type of things are going on all over the United States. This is not unique to Springfield.
Wow.
And when things like this take place all over the country, and they are duplicated in a number of cities, large,
well, why do you think that is?
Why do I think that is? Like I said, I think there is a plan to...
I think it's a mindset.
No, I think
an acquired mindset. But go ahead.
No, I'm not sure it is an acquired mindset, but I think that there's an actual directive to take away the things that we need in order to advance ourselves and move in the directions that we should go. In other words,
well, they did that at birth, brother.
Well, they've done that at birth, but it's become more refined.
Right.
We started our school systems. We destroy our school systems. We allow organizations like the Department of Social Services to come in and be our parents.
Exactly.
Where we have play for pay prison systems. Our children are being lost to the prison systems. It's profitable. They're being lost to the foster care systems. We are in trouble. We are in so much trouble that I don't think that we're able to see it ourselves.
Well, you know, this stuff, and this is my firm belief that this stuff starts from birth. Because what happens at birth, man? Your mama, you know, she put you in front of the TV, and you're like this. And then you're soaking in and you taking in all that garbage that's there. Now we look at, oh, it's the Flintstones.
They don't call it programming.
Yeah, but that's what it is,
yes.
right? It's subliminal messaging, symbolism, and all kind of garbage mixed in. But they mix it in like today. Everybody watching Scandal.
Right.
Do you know how many symbols and subliminal messages happen during each episode? But it's a good plot, and that's how they get you to stick around and watch that while they fill your head with. Well,
listen, man. The bottom line is, I don't let my son watch TV anymore. We don't have cable. He does have access to the computer. He has access to Netflix when I allow him, which is maybe an hour and a half a week.
How old is your son?
My son is 8 years old.
Your son is 8 years old, and he already told me that he knows of or he's read about Malcolm X and don't get me wrong, I forgot the second one. Who was it? Rosa Parks.
Yeah,
Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of these kids today can tell me about the Jews, but they can't tell me a lot about our history. Your son did. Go ahead, man. I cut you off.
No, I'm glad we're heading in that direction because I homeschooled my child.
There you go.
He was at a very prestigious, exclusive private school. I think it was exclusive because they were trying to run from people.
Well, let's go there, brother. Let's go there, brother.
Okay. Can we go there?
Tell your story, man.
The story is he was given a scholarship from grade K to grade 8, $14,500 per year, and I thought it was the best decision for him and for us as a family. But what I found out in the 3 years that we were there is that the school wasn't really much different than any other school. The one difference is the one thing that we may be missing in public schools was participation and presence. I think you've seen that on my Facebook post.
Two students are sitting in math class, listening to Miss Satterwhite nag. Jesse Wilkins, a struggling student who is having a hard time in math, leans over to Becky Smith, who is good at math. Jesse tells Becky that she wants to drop out, while Becky tries to convince her not to. While Becky is talking, she begins to daydream. She dreams that she is a janitor at Larkspur High School, and her boss, Principal Turner, is nagging at her. She suddenly runs into her high school friend, Becky Smith. While Principal Turner is still nagging, Becky and Jesse catch up. Becky explains that after she graduated high school, she became a very successful doctor. As Principal Turner begins to get upset, Jessie regrets dropping out of high school. Jessie comes back to reality. Her dream makes her realize she needs to stay in school and work harder. Her hard work pays off when she receives straight A's on her report card. She eventually goes to college to study to become a doctor.
Why?
Why?
Why are you following me?
Why my hoodie make me look suspicious?
Why does my music make me dangerous?
Why are people that are supposed to protect me attacking me?
Why are you afraid of me? Why do you think I'm dangerous?
Why do I afraid of people who are supposed to protect me?
Why can't I make a peace sign without you labeling a gang sign?
Why does standing your ground only work when I'm on the ground?
Why do you show this photo over this one?
Why do you only stop and frisk me?
Why do you have low expectations for me?
Why can't I run down the street without causing alarms?
Why do you think I'm a thug?
Why do you assume I'm armed?
Why can I breathe?
Why is my mom scared every time I leave the house?
Why are you targeting me?
Why am I a target?
Why?
Why? I know why.
And it has to stop. It must stop.
Because I have dreams. Because I can change the world.
Because I will make a difference.
Because I have a family.
Because I am strong.
Because I'm talented.
I have a voice.
I can find a cure.
I have goals.
I can lead the country.
I am determined.
I have a future.
Because I'm a scholar.
I am powerful.
I'm someone's friend.
I'm someone's brother.
I'm someone's son.
Someone loves me.
And because my life matters too.
My life matters.
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 Our lives matter.
And so did theirs.
Presence. Their parents were there. However, I believe that it was destroying my son's cultural compass because he wasn't surrounded with people of color. The people who were teaching him were not people of color.
Right.
The people who were teaching him were used to dealing with privileged, rich children.
So there was no visual identification. There was an unseen barrier.
Exactly.
Right, right.
And the issue that made me pull him out of the school was a placement, a math placement. I guess.
So what happened?
What happened is he's working at a 5th to 6th grade level in math. They would not allow him to go any further. They would not accommodate those abilities. As a matter of fact, it seemed to me as if they were trying to deny the fact that he was capable of doing these things, even though he had the standardized testing to prove what level he was working on.
Okay, at what age was this, and what level were his peers working on?
Well, when we came to the school, and I guess if we're going to go in any direction in this program that's going to make me really feel comfortable, we should do this again, I think, is he was prepared for school by time he was in kindergarten. He was prepared to be a 2nd grader.
Wow. Okay.
When we went to this school, he had an entry exam. He took the entry exam from the teacher, read it, did it, gave it back to her. Yeah, I'm serious.
My man.
My man. At that time, she recommended that he be moved to the 1st grade. He was a very young kindergartner, but they still recommended, she recommended.
So he got a promotion.
1st grade. No, he did not.
Yep.
The person who was in charge of placement said, no, we're going to keep him where he is. So as the years went on, the next year, I'm saying, well, okay, he's now doing 4th grade math. He's also reading at a 4th grade level, but we still have him here. He needs to be placed in a higher grade. They would not do it. They talked about emotional maturity and things of this nature. But eventually, after the Christmas vacation, they did promote him and they put him in the higher grade. So as of right now, he's in the 4th grade, but he belongs in the 3rd grade.
Do you remember Jeff Smalls?
No, I
Jeff Smalls? He lived in the village?
No.
He might not have been there when you were there. He might have came after you. But Jeff Smalls, me and him became good friends.
Right.
Jeff Smalls was very cerebral, man. This dude read all the time. He loved movies. He'd tell us what was good. He told us about Star Wars 2 or 3 years before it came out and how big it would be, and it was.
Okay.
Right? Jeff was smart. The dude was so smart that high school bored him.
Right.
We were sitting in class one day, and I looked at him. I said, Jeff, what's wrong? He said, man, Nate, I'm bored, man. I'm leaving. I said, yeah, right. Dude got up and left. Never came back. When he got a GED, took off, when it started doing good. I said that to say this, man. If you don't put people where they are on their level, they get bored.
They get very bored. But it didn't seem to work that way for everyone. But it did work that way. In his case,
you come bored and disinterested. Right. But go ahead.
As the years, at the next year came, what we do is we work through the summer. I believe the public school system is archaic. I don't believe they give our children enough credit for their ability.
Right.
I just heard in the last week or so that we're actually 43rd as far as the world goes, as far with education.
Right.
We're number 43. I don't believe that that's where we belong. The reason we are number 43 is because we don't require of our children the things that we need to require.
Right.
I did. That caused a problem for the school. He was too far ahead. So instead of dealing with whatever accommodations they needed to deal with, they tried to make it seem as though it was an issue that I had, that, you know, I'm the dad who thinks that his son is Albert Einstein and this and that. Let me finish this. I never believed that my son is Albert Einstein. I'm not even sure if he's truly gifted, but what I do know is that he was prepared. And if there's one message that I would like to get to your audience is prepare your children for school. It's not as difficult as you may think. There are a number of sources on the internet. There are a number of people that are willing to volunteer their time to help. Presence, you need to be there. So he was so prepared that they weren't able to keep up with him. We never stopped going to school. We're not 43rd. We're probably running 4 or 5 because we do what other countries do. We don't send our kids to school for 9 months, send them home for 2, and then come back and then teach them the same thing that we taught them for the last 3 months they were at school. They continue to move forward. And this was an issue, so that's why I decided to homeschool Nate. I gave back $70,000 of available funds.
Say that one more time.
I gave back $70,000 of available funds because I did not think that my son was getting what he needed at this particular school.
Let me stop you there. Let me ask you this question. What would you say to? And I hear you thinking. I hear it. I would have never gave back that money. I would have never. I just put my kid through school. Yada yada. What would you say to people?
I
like
say
that
that not all free things. Excuse me for touching your paper.
Don't touch my paper, man.
Information. Not all free things are good for you. I guess I could be. I don't know where I fall as far as political beliefs, but I don't believe in welfare. I believe that welfare can be useful and can be helpful, but I think that it can also take out the desire that we have to improve ourselves. That's what makes us human, the desire to improve. So why did I give back the $70,000? Because you're not accommodating what I need, and I don't want you to believe that I need your $70,000 to get what I need to have done. And what I need to have done is to have my son heading in the right direction. These children in these schools, they came from very wealthy families. So just like George W., if they got C's, it was going to be okay. You're still going to make it to Yale. Because if not, we can pay for it. That's not the case with my young man. So that's why I gave them back their money. I chose the homeschooling option. They do have, and I want to tell you listeners this, they have an online virtual public school that's run through the state of Massachusetts. It's called TECA, or Commonwealth Virtual. I'll stop there.
Right.
So anyway, it's a homeschooling program to provide all the technology. They provide all the books that they don't provide in the school buildings. You
know what? See, I'm old, man. I'm old because when everybody says homeschooling, right? You know what I think about? I think about you or your wife sitting down with a book. 1 + 1 is how much? No type of course or curriculum. You're just teaching them what they know. That was my version. School me, man. Tell me what
we have curriculum, and it's funny. We have math, Spanish, literacy. Right now, he's reading Call of the Wild. It's a classic. We're going to go through all the classics. We have a Spanish course that we have online that was actually provided by the TECA group that I'm talking about. We have access to it. But earlier in the show, you talked about my son knowing about Malcolm X and Rosa Parks.
Yes, sir.
The reason he knows about Malcolm X and Rosa Parks is because I not only take him through the curriculum that he would normally see in school, but I expand upon that. I tell the truth. Do you understand what I'm saying? I tell the truth.
There's a difference there.
When you homeschool your child, you're able to give them the basics, but you're able to expand upon those basics and do it in less time. And do it in a language and in a spirit that's comfortable to your child. It's not 1 + 1 is 2 or 2 + 2 is 2. It's like, listen, we talked about the westward expansion, but did we talk about the effects that the westward expansion had on not only us as a people, but did we talk about the effects of what it had on the Indian people as well? There was destruction there. He knows this now, and that's okay. We talked about a number of things, and we're able to cover a number of issues very deeply. Very thorough.
Well, see, that's amazing because you get the luxury, right, of, like you said, teaching in a comfortable, conducive environment to teaching. He's learning from someone that's visually identifiable. So there's a huge barrier that's gone. right?
Absolutely.
It's gone. And then you're going to teach him about his own people.
Yeah, and that was what I was concerned with. Yeah. You know, whether he admits it or understands it or not, I think subliminally he was losing the belief that he, as a person of color, was powerful, that he had the same strengths and ability as the children that he saw next to him.
Yeah.
We couldn't go to Japan.
That's important.
On summer vacation. We couldn't go to the I don't know what the
Riviera,
we couldn't
Himalayas
do
or whatever. Yeah.
But his friends could.
Yeah.
So somehow that makes you feel less about yourself.
Well, see, I've always,
you know what I mean?
What you just said, because I've always said, people say, "Oh, Nate, why do you study about Kemet and all that kind of stuff? Hey, what's that going to do for you?" I said, it's going to give me knowledge of self, which is power.
Yes.
You know, which is power. Look, man, we got to close it, right? We're out of time. But we got to come back and finish this.
Yeah, because there's so much more to say in so many other areas. I'm not blind. I don't have a doctorate's degree. Right. I know that there are certain issues in Springfield that need to be addressed. They need to be addressed with solid solutions. I know that our educational system is failing, not only public, but quite possibly private. I know that we as a people are more than capable of taking care of our own. We are more than capable of educating our children.
Right.
There are people who have to go to work each and every day, there's no doubt, but we have uncles, we have aunts, we have grandparents who can step in and spend that 2 to 3, 4 hours a day with their child and actually teach their child. That more than anything else is what is going to destroy us as a people. A lack of education, a lack of real education, not education that has been given to us by people that may not have our best interests at heart. And that's what we need to understand, and I hope that's the direction that we go in. I hope that we can also continue to go in the direction of what we can do to reclaim our patch of land here in Springfield, Massachusetts, because it's being eaten up.
This man is coming back. He's coming back on Showcase Springfield if we don't do another episode of Voice, right? Because the Bible says, right? My people is destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Exactly.
Okay, so, you know, it's applicable. Look, I'm Nate Patterson. This is Kevin McDonald. We're out of time. Go ahead. One last word. One last word.
One last word. Education's in presence. Be with your children. Check up on the people that you think have your children's best interests at heart. Pay attention to what's going on around you in the world. Don't assume that the people who you have elected or decided to represent us are truly representing your best interests. You have to go out there and check for yourself. It's very, very simple. It's very, very simple.
Okay, I'm Nate Patterson, and that's what it is on Voice. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.
We out.